Greetings and welcome to the Arnold or Stallone podcast, the first and only podcast dedicated to the film careers of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone. I am your host, Tim, and joining me is my co-host, Darren.
Hello, Tim.
Hi, Darren. How are you doing today?
We are doing great.
And so, if you join us for the first time, I'm just going to give a quick summary of what we are going to do today. We are 80s action movie kids, and we had a discussion one day on who we were a bigger fan of, and we decided in order to fully come up with that answer to that question, we would start a podcast and watch Arnold and Stallone movies, and based on those performances, not necessarily the movie itself, but the performance of the main characters, or main actors, I should say, we're going to decide once and for all who we were a bigger fan of, Arnold or Stallone. We are marching down. We are on episode 15, so it would be, I know they're not all Arnold or Stallone, so that would be, let's see, this will be episode 10, actually, of the Arnold or Stallone debate. And for a quick summary, I am leaning 3 towards Arnold and 6 towards Stallone, where Darren is 5 towards Arnold and 3 towards Stallone. So
we're slowly figuring it out.
Yeah, we're building a wall, and we are laying it brick by brick. And so, like I say, this is brick number 10 when it's all said and done. And so basically, what are we going to be talking about today, Darren?
Well, Tim, today I think we're going to look at the 2 excellent films from the late 80s. One is, of course, Rambo Part 3, and the other one is Twins.
That's right, Rambo 3 and Twins. And if memory serves, those actually came out the same year, did they not?
I think we actually have a reference that we'll talk about later in the movie.
Yeah. I was going to say, isn't that, as we've been going along, or how should I phrase this? Would you think that this is kind of the beginning of their, I guess, not unofficial, official rivalry? I think
we're definitely in the heart of the rivalry now. It began sort of who knows when, but we're definitely in the heart of the rivalry at this point. Everybody's aware of the rivalry. Every time Stallone would have a movie, a Schwarzenegger would come out with a movie, and then vice versa, and they would just try to get bigger and bigger action as it went. So we're definitely, and who won? Well, the consumer.
Yeah,
us.
that's what
we
absolutely
won because we got some of the best movies of all time created because of their competition and the money that was coming in to make these movies. So
yeah, no, I agree 100%. I mean, being a kid at this time, and actually 1988, I wouldn't necessarily call myself a kid anymore. I was probably more of the teenage years,
yep.
But definitely a impressionable mind with some of these movies. And like I say, a staple, I guess, I won't speak for Darren, but for me, these were very important in my development into the action icon-loving middle-aged man that I am today.
Well, and yes, and when these movies came out, they were huge movies. Posters everywhere. Lots of other movies have these movies sort of in the background when they were filming. Mm-hmm. If you watch movies from the 80s, you'll find that, oh, hey, look at they'll go by a movie theater or something, and what's playing, probably Rambo 3 or Twins. So they were both big hits.
Yeah, they were. I remember. So I guess basically we're going to start off today. We're going to start off with Rambo 3, and let me give the Rotten Tomatoes real quick, which it's rotten, but it's at 41%. And to be completely honest, with the reputation that this movie has, I thought it would have been a lot lower. It's actually with the audience, it's not too far ahead, where it's at 45% with the audience. So, but yeah, so that's Rambo 3.
Yeah, so that's interesting. I mean, to have that seems a little low to me, depending how popular. But we'll get into it and we'll see what everybody thinks. So, yes, Rambo 3, directed by Peter. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Peter MacDonald.
Peter MacDonald. So yeah, I don't know what else he's done. I'm sad to see I did not do my homework on that one. So
Oh, it looks like he did the Never-Ending Story 3, Return to Fantasia. So
okay, well, all right.
they all can't be. Well, I guess looking at it, he must have a special place in his heart for third chapters and long runnings.
Right, I guess, yeah, long franchises. He brings in the third installment. So, well, for Rambo 3, we start off. We're in some tropical sort of Southeast Asia, some area, possibly Thailand or Cambodia. We're not really sure, are we? Or does it say?
I don't think it says. I didn't really. So, I mean,
and so we start off, and we got Troutman. Troutman's back.
Yep.
Colonel Troutman. Yep. He's back, and he's in country, and. And we got Red from
Red Foreman.
Red Foreman from that 70s show. His name is
Kurtwood Smith.
Kurtwood Smith, yes, Kurtwood, which we all knew him first from RoboCop.
Yeah, I was just gonna say he was the bad guy in RoboCop.
He was a good bad guy.
He was a great bad guy. Yeah,
he scared me big time when I was a kid. So we start off. And we show Rambo, and he's kind of getting ready. He's putting some gear on and tightening his classic, which became the iconic look. Really, the red bandana with he's got the jade sort of necklace on, and from the last movie, and he's getting that thing tied up. And holy crap, is he jacked?
Yeah, I was gonna say this is probably the most jacked Stallone's been
absolutely
up to this point, and maybe even. I mean, he's maintained this physique going further, but I feel,
this is as
he's
jacked
shredded in this movie.
Any movie ever that he was in, this is the most jacked he is. He's just, his neck is like the size of his head.
Yeah, he looks great. I mean,
he looks like Rambo.
Yeah.
Like the cartoon, or anything like you think. So we start out, and he's and he's got the best movie mullet, I think, of all time.
No, I think Stallone looks good with long hair.
It fits him. It fits Rambo. It's a great mullet. I wish being hair challenged, both of us are very much.
I would take that mullet any day of the week.
Have a mullet that size.
Which is funny because that picture of him with the mullet, is it keeps going around as a meme where it says every kid in the 80s had a gym teacher that looked like this.
So he starts off, he's stick fighting, doing some underground street fighting. So we love the underground street fights in the 80s. There's nothing better than the underground street fighting, some sort of gambling going on, from blood sport to to kickboxer to all these underground fighting. Amazing, and of course, Hot Shots Part 2 has the best reference to this scene.
Absolutely,
and that's how iconic this scene was that it actually was such impactful that it had to have many parodies of itself. So,
and I love too how as we go along, the beginning is like the beginning of Hot Shots Part 2. Like they just
they stick to it really good.
Yeah, they do.
So of course, old Red Foreman wants him to go on he's a CIA agent or something, not really sure, and he wants him to go on a special mission into to help. There's a lot of kids getting blown up and getting killed, and he wants him to go to Afghanistan to help the insurgent or help the native people fight the insurgents of the Russians, and so he's got to go there, and he. Of course, we forgot to mention he's in a temple right now, in a Buddhist temple, and he seems to have kind of switched. He's sort of a peace-loving man now, and he's trying to atone for his sins or whatever he's doing, and so he's very much just wants to be a man of peace and wants to be left alone. And Troutman kind of tries to talk him into it, but he won't go. Yep. So Troutman
he's not interested.
Troutman says, "All right, well, I'm going." Now. I'm not sure why Troutman had to go. He's clearly should be retired by now.
It's like he laid it down and is like, well, Rambo, we need you to do this. Oh, I'm not interested. Okay, well, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, then thanks for coming and tracking. Because I love that even they go, boy, you're a hard man to find. And so they, it's not like they hopped on the airplane and got right off. It's not like, Rocky IV where he's training in Russia and Adrian just shows up. But, they had a trek to find him.
And they just, okay, well, all right, well, we're going to do it anyways.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by. I guess I'll do it myself. Could have saved yourself a trip if you would have done that. But
So 65-year-old Troutman decides to go out by himself into the wilderness of the desert. And lo and behold, they get ambushed.
Like immediately.
Just right off the bat, right off the rip. And of course, they get ambushed and Troutman gets captured. He is now a prisoner of the Russians, which in the 80s was once like the worst thing you could do, So Red goes back and tells Rambo what happened, and next thing you know, he's ready to go because he's got to go save Troutman.
Yeah, I always that part always made me laugh. Where you see Rambo's like they're fixing a wagon wheel, and all of a sudden Red shows back up, and he's just like, "What? I just want to let you know Troutman got caught." It's like, so you made that trek twice just to come and tell me that my old army supervisor, or drill sergeant, whatever, that's 65 years old got caught.
Yeah.
Now this is personal type of thing.
Yeah. Now they've crossed the line.
Yeah.
This guy that didn't have to go anywhere.
Right. Yeah. So
purposely went on a mission he knew was dangerous, and now I got to go save him. But
yeah.
So he decides, well, this is it.
Classic, 80s switch on a dime.
For sure.
Just okay. Well, right. Now I'm doing it.
Okay. Now I'm going. So he needs to go after him, and he does the classic walk. Arrives in Afghanistan, and they got to do the quick walk down the street. Mos Eisley style city where everything's crazy, all the bazaar, all the people, all this, everything's going every which way, every direction, and they're all, it's the every movie has to have that. So he meets his sidekick. We'll just call him Sidekick because I don't even know what the guy's name was in the movie.
I don't remember it either.
It's just Sidekick. Yeah. He's obviously there for comic relief. So
right.
So he gets there, but before that, he meets another guy there when he meets Sidekick, and this guy will come up later. But the Red has already sent to Sidekick a bunch of weapons and stuff like that. All his gear's been sent ahead by Red. He's given him all the explosives and everything else. So now, of course, we cut to Troutman. And he's in the clutches of the evil Russians, the classic stereotype Russians with the camouflage and the beard, or one guy's got a beard, the other guy's kind of, not quite shaven all the way. And they got the thick accent, and they're just super evil. Yeah. They just live to be evil. That's it.
Just dripping evil.
Dripping evil. just Bond villain-esque evil.
Yeah, that's what that guy reminded me of. Like he could have been a perfect Bond villain.
He was a Bond villain for sure. So
the broken English with a Russian accent. Tell me where the missiles are.
Yes. So he's looking. He wants to know they brought Stinger missiles to fight the helicopters, and he wants to know where the missiles are, but he won't tell him. And he just keeps asking him, "Where are the missiles?" Won't tell him. And then he explains to him that they're gonna have their hands full because they're gonna have their own Vietnam. Basically, we've had our Vietnam is what he tells them. So, Troutman is stuck there, and now his guide back to Rambo. Him and his guide decide we're going to head off in the desert. So they start cruising off in the desert, just him and him. And he's got, they're just kind of riding on horses. And it's cool shots of the desert, and the cinematography is really nice. Some of the shots are really cool. But then we smash cut back to Troutman, still getting tortured, still getting beat up. still asking him where the missiles are. And he tells them, okay, I'll tell you where the missiles are. He tells them they're in your ass.
Yeah. Just defiant towards the end.
Just,
I love he's like, I'll tell you, and the Russian bad guy gets that Russian smile.
Yeah.
They're up your ass.
they're in your ass.
You're going to regret saying that. I don't know if that's what he said, but that's what I was thinking.
Right, yes, exactly. So then he asks him another. So then the guy who he met Sidekick. Well, that guy is a double agent, and he tells the Russian guy that, hey, there's this guy John Rambo, and he's coming after Troutman. So the Russian general or whatever goes to Troutman. Who is John Rambo?
Yeah.
And so he'll find out, though, So we get to the Rambo and his guide and his sidekick there. They get to the village finally, where they're going to get some help from these guys who are the freedom fighters against the Russians. And so it's very like rocky and dusty and sweaty. All I can think about is it's just so much dust flying around there. I hate dust,
Oh yeah.
It's just hot and dusty. I just like, oh,
it just does not look comfortable.
It doesn't
at all.
look fun or comfortable. Definitely a rough area to live on. So Rambo's kind of meeting with the town council there. All the guys are kind of sitting around, and they're the Russian doctor is explaining all the different the base and how to get in and out of there. And it's a very good thing that they all know how to speak English. Mm-hmm. I mean,
very well English too.
Right. What a benefit for John Rambo.
Yeah.
That the Russian doctor and all these Afghani freedom fighters all speak perfect English.
Yeah.
I mean,
makes the mission a little more tolerable.
makes it easier, So, finally Rambo says, "Well, I'm just going to go do it on my own." And the old man just says, "Oh no." He tells them about them being freedom fighters and kind of, tells them that they've been, their land had been decimated and all the things. Mm-hmm. And so they decide, well, let's decide if we're going to help this guy. Well, Rambo kind of walking around. By the way, in all black. Mm-hmm. In the middle of the desert with a black tank top on, in the middle of the wherever,
which
Middle
I heard
East.
Afghanistan's beautiful that time of year.
Oh, that's,
in the summertime, it's beautiful that time of
and
year.
It's just this,
and it's funny too because he's just glistening with sweat.
He's just
But I will say on the flip note of that, because Stallone looks so fucking magnificent, it fits, But I see where you're coming from. Where it's like, he's in all black, and it's just again, Afghanistan is known for its
nice cool weather,
right? Balmy summers. Gets a little cold or a little chilly in the evening, but
get some nice rain in there every once in a while. So they decide, so then he meets. They start talking with the guides walking around, showing him the town, and all of a sudden he meets Short Round. Mm-hmm. So this is Rambo's version of Short Round. We'll call him Little Oval then.
Little Afghan Round.
little round. Or, oval. Yeah. So this is his version of Short Round, and they're walking around, and they decide that the guys call him over and they want to play. It looks like they're playing some kind of polo. So he's like, So the guys call him over and they want to play polo, and they're riding around on horses, throwing a dead
carcass of something
into a round, like a circle. And he's like, "It is like football," and I'm like, "It's nothing like football."
If you mean by the horses, the dead carcass, and running around in the desert, that's exactly like football.
Exactly like football. So. But I do like the fact that they're in the middle of the desert. The Russians are looking for him, and he's got time to play some polo. I mean, what if he was to break a leg while he was doing that?
Right.
And then Troutman's just,
mission's over.
Mission's over.
Roll credits. Thanks, Rambo.
It's like, he got thrown, took one to the head, and now he's unconscious for 2 weeks.
Because they just decimate that camp with machine gun fire, and
so here comes, and of course, the whole time these attack helicopters are on their way that they don't know about, and over the thing, here comes the attack helicopters, and they just shoot up the entire village, kills everybody. Good news is that Rambo outruns the helicopter on a horse.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
not to mention, he's on a horse that he's never been on before. The horse doesn't know him at all, and he's playing a game that he's never played before. But yet he's able to just ride like he's a native. And
that one horsepower will outrun any attack helicopter in Afghanistan.
Yeah. Now, to Stallone's credit, he actually is a really good horse rider, and he's been riding since he was a kid.
Oh, I could, yeah.
Yeah, but for the movie's sake, I don't know how much Green Berets know how to ride horses.
Yeah, they didn't really,
especially guys living in Thailand. Yeah. on a Buddhist monastery or wherever he's at.
Explore Rambo's, equine pass. So
yeah. He was on a motorcycle, not a horse in the first one. So we don't know if he, I
guess horse motorcycle, it's,
Right. I didn't know. Yeah.
Same thing.
Maybe he had quarter horses when he grew up. Well, he did grow up in Arizona, so maybe we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. So the attack helicopter kills the village. He jumps on the back of a like Winnebago or something and starts shooting up has a giant gun in it, or it's like a Toyota or something, shoots up the helicopter and blows up one of the attack helicopters. And then, but of course it's not the one with the evil Russian colonel. He's in the other one because guys who are in charge of bases also fly attack helicopters.
Yeah, they're out on the mission.
They're on the missions as well.
Yeah, Rambo shoots the helicopter with the red shirts wearing them.
Just not the blue shirts. Wrong one.
You missed.
And so now the village is all blown up, and the guys are upset, and they don't want to go with him now. And they tell him, "This is not your war." They tell Rambo. He says, "It is now."
Yeah. Which I think, wouldn't that classify as a one-liner, the way he delivered it?
I think that was his one-liner in this movie. He does maybe have another one. So him and Sidekick decide to head off to the Russian base. They head off in the desert, and they go through the Russian base. And, of course, he does the cool thing where they got to crawl through a minefield, and he's got to use his knife to kind of find the mines and,
I thought that was pretty cool.
It is. It's always been a very cool. I've always liked that part.
Yeah.
Even when I was a kid, I was like, that's really cool the way they showed that. So then he gets through the thing, and and all of a sudden, short round shows, oval round or little oval shows up. And he tells them, hey, you need to go back. And he's like, oh, no, I'm not going back. He's like, no, you need to go back.
I want to fight.
And so then they decide, well, no, so he takes off, and they wind up breaking into the base, and they're setting timers and explosives. And of course, the sidekick the whole time keeps fucking up. He's tripping over stuff. He's knocking stuff over. It's
like he's drunk or something.
It's like worst guy to take on a very covert mission. And the guys are looking for him, but Rambo can hide anywhere. And where does Rambo hide? Right directly above the guys that are looking, that heard a noise and are actively They're not just. No. They're actively looking for someone.
Yeah.
And they don't look up. But, I think they went to the stormtrooper school.
Right. Their neck doesn't work that way. This is the 80s, so people were built differently back then.
You couldn't look up if you were a bad guy. So he does a badass tank stunt, though, where he gets dragged Indiana Jones style underneath a tank. Yeah. Which was pretty cool because it's all real stunts and kind of sneaks into the camp that way, and tries to get Troutman free. And of course, little Oval shows back up when he's down there, and the guard shows up, and he kills the guard with a knife, and then all hell breaks loose. The guards come out of nowhere. They're shooting everything up. They're trying to escape, and And they can't get to Troutman. He's still stuck. They're fighting. They're trying to get out. And little Short Round gets shot by, of course, the Colonel. You know, that guy's everywhere. So, and Rambo gets blowed up and gets a piece of shrapnel in his stuck through his liver or something. I don't know.
That was wild.
And so, pretty cool. But luckily, they drop into the sewer that runs underneath the base. They all kind of drop into this sewer that's, luckily, it's 6 foot tall, lined with bricks.
Yeah.
And very clean for a sewer.
Right,
There's no turds or nothing floating through it. It's all, and for a desert, there's a lot of water in that sewer.
Right, yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty good sewer system.
That's probably why they built the camp there, was the abundance of fresh running water.
Right. So, of course, they drop down, the bad guys drop through the now, I thought why didn't they come through the sewer to begin with instead of walking through the minefield? But maybe they couldn't. So they run through the tunnels, and the guards kind of find them, and they blow up the guards. And Rambo comes out of the water just like he did in the last one. Comes out of the river, out of just perfectly calm water, pops up and just blasts them both.
Yeah.
Which that's classic Rambo.
Yeah, that's when I think of Rambo, those are the shots I think of.
And so they blow up the tunnel, and they still didn't get, Troutman's still stuck there. And but they find a different cave. Now they're in a different cave, and they're patching the kid up. The kid gets all patched up. And the guy wants him and Rambo to leave. Sidekick wants him and Short Round to get out of here. Let's go. He's like, I owe Troutman. Like, I'm not going to leave Troutman. Yeah,
because don't they talk to each other through the door before the whole hootenanny goes down?
So Troutman had saw that it was, and
so he knows Rambo's there.
He knows Rambo's there.
Yeah.
And he told him to, he's like, get out, because he realized he couldn't save him at that point. So, and didn't want him to risk his life. So, the Sidekick and Short Round jump on their horses, and they boogie out of there. Well, of course, now he's got to do some doctoring on himself. Why have Sidekick help you do some doctoring? Let's just do it all. I can do it all myself.
He's a one-man army.
I don't need help. So he. But this is probably the coolest scene in any movie.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what makes these movies cool, is these scenes like this. He pulls the rest of the shrapnel out of his stomach.
Yeah.
Opens up a bullet, dumps the powder into the wound, and lights it on fire.
That was pretty cool.
It was one of the coolest things when you saw that as a kid. You were like, wow.
Because I love how fire comes out of both ends of him, and he's shirtless too. We should add, so he's. Right. I think from this point on, Stallone's shirtless. The rest of this movie.
I think he's shirtless the rest of the movie. So he and I think didn't Weird Al do that in UHF? Was that
he did do? It was
like he had a splinter or something, and remember?
He
had a splinter or something. And
it pulls out the old the field first aid kit.
I can't remember. I'd have to watch UHF.
It's been a while since I've seen it too.
Yeah.
So, but I remember. I guess when we get there, I'll bring it back up. But
right, that's once again, that's how iconic this movie was, and Rambo. I mean, there's just so many. So many parodies. So now that he's all good, he now the Russians are actively looking for him because they know he's out there somewhere. So they're cruising around looking for him. And now he decides to climb up a 300-foot cliff on the sheer side of a mountain right after he just took a giant, 6-inch piece of shrapnel out of his gut. But
I'm sure the wound is still warm from when he cauterized it. Well, it's funny too. I think when all this is going on, it shows cuts to Troutman with the main Russian guy comes in, and he's like, "Who is that?" And I'm thinking, you already know about John Rambo.
Yes.
Put two and two together. He's like, "Who is this? Who is this man?" He's like, "Dude, you've already asked about him like a half hour ago." So that kind of made me laugh.
Yeah, but, he keeps wondering, who is this man?
Yeah,
who? I can't figure it out. So So then, like I said, so he free climbs up the side of a mountain, and I think that's where he might have got another movie idea that we'll get to later on.
Yeah.
He might have popped in his head when he was free climbing up the side of a mountain. So he goes back to the base. And of course, like Tim said, he cannot wear a shirt. That is, it's in the contract. So,
but like I say, he looks great. And I mean, that's probably why he got so shredded. But yeah, he's shirtless for the rest of this movie.
So he gets in, he sneaks into the base, and it takes him a minute, and he's going through different things, and boom, finds Troutman, kills the guard, gets Troutman, gets a bunch of prisoners, and they all head out.
Yep.
So he's got, just like in the last one, he's got Trout, we got the guy, saved him, we got the prisoners, let's go. So we all jump into a helicopter. Kind of like the last one.
Yeah. And this is when it's funny with it, because this is what reminds me of the UHF Weird Al version, because he does the same thing. But of course, Weird Al, Weird Al's it up, where he's like, right.
And then he, luckily, because of the last one, we know he does know how to fly a helicopter and a Russian helicopter as well. So he blows up the base. He's launching missiles. He's shooting everything. But the chopper, and then they fly off, but the chopper gets shot. So he's going down. They're going down hard in a chopper, hits the ground, kind of blows up. But luckily, of course, it's Hollywood helicopter crash. So everybody makes it.
Right. Yeah. So they walk that.
They all just like, okay, we're good. And they all run away. Well, the rest of the group, we got to figure out how to get rid of them. So we're just going to go ahead and have Troutman and Rambo take off in the desert, and the rest of the crew that was they saved, they're doing whatever. They're off. They're just leaving them in the desert.
Yeah, they're free. Go home.
Go home. So they start heading through the desert, Troutman and Rambo. By the way, they run through the desert. And I mean run, they are running through the entire desert. Now, Troutman has just gotten the crap beat out of him for weeks.
Right. Yeah.
In a Russian prison. Rambo just took a shrapnel to the gut and just got blown up. But they still got plenty of stamina to run through a 104-degree desert or whatever they're, so I don't. Yeah, those parts always just made me laugh. As a kid, you're thinking, but an adult, you're like, they have no water. Like, what?
When was the last time they drank water? I mean, I hate to be that guy, but you haven't seen a water break throughout any of this movie.
No, but they actually make a little reference to it, because when he goes, I need to slow down for a minute, take a break. And he goes, Troutman says, hey, how's that wound doing? Isn't it hurt? And he's like, I'm not thinking about it.
Oh, yeah. It's like, remember when you told us to ignore the pain?
Yeah.
And he's like, it's not working.
It's not working. So I guess they had to do a little, they must have had to do. Nowadays, that's, like a meta joke, and it's all, it's like self-aware. So it's actually fits in more today than it would actually any other time. So, they're kind of hanging out. They're having a little break, and they're kind of having a back and forth. And then all of a sudden, so they start to, all of a sudden the Russian finds them with the helicopter, right? The colonel finds them, and he knows where they're at. All of a sudden he's got the helicopter, and he starts, he's searching for him.
Yeah, he's closing in.
He's closing in on him. He knows that they're around here somewhere. And what does Rambo do? He gets out the frickin' bow, the bow and arrow.
Yeah,
he pulls out the classic, and I'm telling you get your juices flowing when you see him start putting that bow and arrow together, dude. You're like, hell yeah!
It's like I knew it was coming, but at the same time, I'm like, where's the bow and arrow?
Yeah, and he gets the bow and arrow together, and puts on the little automatic little blown up tippy things, and boom, jumps out of the hole and blows up a helicopter.
Yeah,
one shot. Heck yeah, but it's not the right one again.
Nope, he got the decoy
helicopter. Got that decoy again. So the Russian colonel, he shows up, and he's got this giant bomb on the bomb. It looks like a keg of beer underneath the underneath the helicopter, and he starts dropping it. Well, luckily, they drop into this cave. Him and Troutman drop, and
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
explodes, and John just barely makes it as he slides down the rope. Mm-hmm. And Troutman
With the
asks,
fireball behind him,
fireball
too.
behind him.
That was pretty wicked.
Yeah, it is a killer stunt. He goes, "How are you, John?" And Rambo, of course, says, "Well done."
Okay, that's right. I knew there was one in here, and that's right.
Yeah. So now we're going to play cat and mouse, sort of in this cave where you got shadow and light, and and he's killing because all the men that were in the helicopter all descend into the cave after him. So he's got a whole platoon in the cave that are looking for him and Troutman, and they do this cat and mouse sort of back and forth in the shadows and in the light. And he kills one guy with a bow, and the guy's he's dead, and Rambo walks up, grabs his walkie-talkie, starts to talk to the colonel who's up in the helicopter above him. And he says, "Who are you?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Your worst nightmare.
I'm your worst nightmare. Now that is, again, quoting UHF again. I love that when you finally find Stanley Spagowski and he's like, "Who are you?" "I'm your worst nightmare." That's my favorite. I still do that to this day.
Oh, for sure. That's why this movie is so awesome. It's like, "I'm your worst nightmare." I mean, that's the greatest.
Yeah.
So they're in and out of the shadows. They're playing shadows. Well, for us old guys, this was our first introduction to the thing that became immensely popular at Halloween, which are glow sticks. Mm-hmm. We had never seen glow sticks before. We'd never even seen what the hell a glow stick was.
Right.
This was the first time he ever saw a glow stick, and he was using them quite a bit. He's hooking them onto the arrows. He's throwing them everywhere, and yeah, it was really cool for us because we had never seen that before. We didn't know what like a chemical light was.
Yeah.
We had no idea that happened, and so he's got the glow sticks, and he's shooting all these guys with arrows and stuff, and he's kind of like the first one where he's kind of hiding out and doing his sabotage and everything to him, and he of course, the whole time the Russian colonel's up there yelling on the radio, "What's going on down there? What is happening?"
Yeah.
So I just love the bosses that are always like, "What is going on? What do you think's going on down there?"
Right. How come no one is answering my calls?
So
they're all dead.
So two guys, they start shooting at him, and he boom, blows them both up. That last one, he just blew up one guy with the arrows.
Yeah.
And this time blew up two guys with an arrow. Like, heck yeah, just crank it up, to 11.
Right.
So, so he's going to get killed. He blew up the two guys, and all of a sudden he looks up and there's a guy above him, dead to rights. He's got him. He's done. Boom, Troutman saves the day, pops out from behind a rock and shoots the guy, kills him. Mm-hmm. Well, Troutman somehow climbs up, gets out of the cave. We don't really see that. I don't know how Troutman climbed out, but now, Rambo told him to go climb out, and then he's going to go take care of the rest of the guys. So he goes and he shoots the rest of the guys or whatever, and he starts climbing up the 150-foot free climb rope up to this cave. When he gets to the top, well, Troutman's like 500 yards away. Like,
right. He's already gone.
Why do you wait for him, man? Like, he's your friend, right?
Later,
dude.
Thanks for breaking me out. See you at the rendezvous.
I'm already halfway home, man. So, Rambo makes it to the top, and he's finally exhausted. They made it. Or did they? Mm-hmm. Boom, grabs, all of a sudden, the big Russian guy that was beating the crap out of Troutman grabs a hold of Rambo, and they have this epic brawl back and forth. And of course, because Troutman's so far away, he can't kill him. He's got to keep running to try to save Rambo. So he's running, and they have this big, huge fight scene. And he kills the big Russian the same way that the guy died in Raising Arizona, pulling a pin on a grenade.
The grenade pin, yeah.
The grenade pin that's pinned to your shirt.
Like I've seen that a couple times.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. That was That's how Nicolas Cage killed the bodyguard or the bounty hunter in Raising Arizona.
Okay. Yeah.
What was what's his name?
Yeah. I know exactly who you're talking about. I can't like Randall Tex Cobb.
Tex Cobb, yes. Yeah. Yes, Randall Tex Cobb. Yes. He kills Randall Tex Cobb through that same exact so the Coen brothers actually came up with it first.
Which is funny because he will always remind me of I think it was which Fletch, the molesting a dead horse.
Yes.
I forget which one that was.
The second one.
What are you in for? Molesting a dead horse.
You bend over.
Hi, Ben.
So he kills the big Russian by pulling a pin on his grenade, and the grenade is on his shirt. He can't get the grenade off in time, and pushes him down the hole, and he explodes.
And that was pretty cool too. Just the big fireball and the human body parts going flying everywhere.
And now they're free, or are they?
Or so they think.
They go and they start to go, and all of a sudden, the Russian helicopter pulls down, and then like a bunch of guys show up with tanks and trucks and all sorts of gear, hundreds of guys. You're talking like an entire company or something of guys show up.
They just out of nowhere,
and it's just Troutman and Rambo against 100 guys or so, and they're like, "Uh-oh, we're done." So they're like, "So what do? Of course, they start to fight them.
Yeah.
So they start. Rambo opens up on them, and they all start fighting. And even though an attack helicopter is directly in front of them, it doesn't kill them. And they run around and they kind of find a little hole, and they're hiding in this little trench. And they're like, "This is it. We're done." And but here comes the cavalry. Mm-hmm. All the guys, the freedom fighter guys on horseback, decide to attack guys on tanks and helicopters, and this time they win though, because the last time they fought him in a helicopter they lost. So of course they bring Rambo's horse, so he jumps on the back of a horse and he's got a Molotov cocktail, and tank shoots him, and but just explodes and does the classic flip the horse over, but Rambo's okay. He just takes one from a tank, but
he's all right.
He's okay, no big deal. Nothing can beat up Rambo.
He's a one-man army.
So of course he does take out the tank with this Molotov cocktail, and gets in the tank, takes over the tank, and jumps in the tank, starts driving it, and then the tank gets shot by the helicopter.
Yeah.
No problem though. No. Keep going.
Yeah, bolts keep going. Ricochet
right off. And so now he's shooting at the helicopter, and the helicopter's shooting at him, and they both decide it's time to play chicken.
Yep. Classic 80s.
Classic 80s. Move. The Russian general, colonel, whatever, he's in one, and Rambo's in the tank, and they're just headed right towards each other. Tank versus helicopter. Just mano a mano.
Yep.
And
one shall fall, one shall stand.
And apparently the colonel was with it too. So they just smash into each other. Huge explosions.
Big old explosions.
Yeah. Colonel's dead. Is Rambo dead? Oh.
Physics would say he should be.
He's laying there. He's not moving.
Yeah.
Maybe Rambo's dead. Oh, he starts to move at the last second, and he gets up, and he's okay. Yep. Just shakes it off and climbs out of the tank. Now, luckily, all the action's over when he climbs out of the tank. All the other guys that were with these Russian dudes, they're all dead. Yep. All the other tanks are exploded. Luckily, everybody else is gone except for his guys. All the action's over. Everything's nice and calm now. So
everything's wrapped up in a nice little package.
Nice little package. So now he's got all patched up, and he's in a Jeep. Somehow they got him a Jeep, and him and Troutman are sitting in a Jeep, and they're all patched up. And luckily, now that all the action's over and he's headed back home, now he's going to put on his old Vietnam jacket, and so that way he gets a little protection from the sun, because he's going to have a long drive home.
Yeah, doesn't want that farmer tan.
Doesn't want that sunburn and the farmer tan. He's gonna. I might have to get a little aloe vera when he gets home.
Right. Yeah.
And so they just head off on the Jeep. who knows where they're going? They're just they're headed home in a Jeep with who knows how much gas.
Right. Yeah.
Almost like Spies Like Us. Like
just like later we'll get as far as we get.
We get as far as we get, and Troutman looks at him and says, "I think we're getting soft." And Rambo looks back at him and says, "I think just a little, sir." and roll credits.
And roll credits. Yeah, this movie. It's funny to me. I remember the first time I saw it, which may have been my first Rambo movie, because I think at the time, because I didn't really watch a lot of these earlier movies when I was younger, and I caught them in like reruns or rentals or whatever. I remember seeing Rambo 3 as the first one, and of course, if you see this as the first one, you're like, holy shit, this is
yeah,
it's not that bad of a movie until I saw the other ones,
right?
And I remember disliking this movie immensely for many, many years. People I would talk to about movies this would be the one that they would always just shit all over, like, oh, Rambo 3. Now, having seen it twice recently, it's not a bad movie. It's definitely a cut by numbers movie,
right?
Yeah. Like you said, there's so many parallels between this one and the second one. Mm-hmm. It's almost like, and I can understand financially why they made this movie, because this movie actually did make quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
And it's a fun action movie. You do have a lot of you have to look the other way at some of the story is a little thin. Some of the action's awesome.
Yes.
The action's awesome. Mm-hmm. But overall it was just kind of like it's a fun turn your brain off for 90 minutes and enjoy some shredded Stallone.
Shredded Stallone. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the hurdles they have to do to, like you said, to get him back in the action, to have to Troutman, the whole thing is very like it's stretched thin. It's stretched very thin. Like, we had to do a lot of mental gymnastics to get him back into this thing. So, but it's the action. It's still Rambo. It's still Stallone at his height of his power. Mm-hmm. This movie crushed it in the theaters.
And like you said, this movie's been parodied who knows how many times.
Yes. So it obviously had a huge cultural impact. If it's been parodied in every movie. And when you parody a movie, everybody has to understand what you're parodying.
Right.
So you can't just parody a movie that parody a movie that no one's seen before.
For sure.
So everybody has to seen it to know exactly what you're making fun of. So or having fun with or whatever.
And I love it too, like at the beginning where they find Rambo and he's doing the stick fighting, and Troutman's like, "Oh, we saw you in town stick fighting," and he's like, "Oh, I just do that for extra money." I'm like, okay. Which again reminds me,
I nearly get killed for extra money,
right?
For a couple extra bucks.
It covers the bills, It always reminds me of the Hot Shots Part 2, which, in my opinion, I think I like better than the first one.
Yes,
where Charlie Sheen's basically doing the same thing, you know. But
and he's got
the comic way,
and they got the glue, and they're putting in the sprinkles and the M&Ms.
Yeah, it's like the melted caramel and the sprinkles. Because wasn't that Kickboxer where he did that?
Kickboxer was
they're putting nails and glass and
stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So. But it's like I say, going forward, I'm always looking forward the first movie to be like, ugh, I thought this would have been it. But like I said, I never really hated this movie. It was definitely not my favorite, but I have special appreciation for it, because.
And I will admit that the one cool thing also is we didn't mention was that he has a different knife in this movie. So all three movies, he's had a different knife.
Yeah.
He's so. If you're into like knife collecting and stuff like that, there is a Rambo 1 knife, there's a Rambo 2 knife, and then there's a Rambo 3 knife.
Can you imagine carrying all three of those around?
Yeah, totally. You need a backpack.
Right. Having those dangling from your belt. It's like at the walk funny, just so they don't clang into each other.
Yeah, so he, and they never explain why he gets new knives. Now I know why. It's because they want something cooler than last time.
Right.
You're trying to go above and, so it's not
which, again, the action of this one was, a step above the second one, which was a step above the original one.
Right.
And, like you say, the double exploding arrow kill shot, but this is a fun action 80s, turn your brain off, don't think too hard into it, and let the plot holes just let them be.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, the little short round and the sidekick and all the comic relief and stuff. It's just
I will say, as far as the kid actors we've had up to this point, this kid wasn't as annoying.
I was just going to say that as a kid actor, compared to all the other guys that we've had, he is actually a pretty good little. He wasn't annoying at all, actually.
Yeah.
So if you would have had him, it's just I mean, it worked because maybe some kid's going to want to follow
right.
Because I want to come along, but he's too young.
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean, he grew up in a war zone.
Sure,
and that's all he knows. He wants to.
So it definitely worked. You didn't disbelieve your.
Yeah.
So, but they were sticking kids in every. Movie back then to try to
that was the thing.
Get that younger demographic interested. So,
right.
Because we want to get them all. We want to get the adults. We want to get the kids. We want to get everybody watching this movie. So. So that was Rambo 3. So 1988.
1988. Yeah.
And I'm with you. I like that movie. It's always been a great movie, and it's definitely it's like any trilogy. The third one never really is as good as the first two, whether you're talking Star Wars or Godfather or, I mean, just keep going.
I mean, when they're looking at literally a cash cow, they just slap. And it's funny because each movie in this series has a different title. It's not like, Terminator 2, Terminator 3. It's like, First Blood, then First Blood Part 2, then Rambo 3. And then it's like, and so it's like, again, when I've said it before and I'll say it again, when my wife was introduced or aware of Stallone, I should say, and I tried to watch, like, First Blood. I'm like, we should watch First Blood because she likes, action movies. And her mind automatically went to the Rambo of Rambo 3, which a lot of people, if you think of Rambo, this is what you think of. Yeah,
that's what I mean. That was his look when the cartoon, because Rambo had that cartoon that came out, which was very strange that a PTSD'd Vietnam veteran was.
Just make a kid's show about that.
Let's get a cartoon about,
Yeah.
And, but that was his look. No shirt, red headband.
Yeah, the little necklace. Which he ended up giving to the kid.
Oh, right. Gives him at the kid at the end. Right.
It's a fun, it was a nice refresher. And it's funny because my Blu-ray player, for whatever reason, wouldn't play this movie. And I'm like, really? So I had to pull out my other one to play it. It's just so weird. I'm like, are you trying to tell me something about Rambo 3? But
I'm not going to allow you to watch
How
this
dare
movie.
you?
How dare you?
You made me sit through this, and now it's Rambo 3. I'm taking the rest of the night off.
Yeah, I'm done.
Watch it somewhere else, funny guy. Alrighty, so now we're going to go across the street and see what Schwarzenegger has to offer, and we are looking at 1998's Twins.
88.
Is it? Did I say 98?
Yeah.
Okay.
88.
Yeah, 88. Yep. I was thinking about the non-existent sequel they were going to do that never materialized. But yes, thank you, Darren. 1988's Twins. And as always, we're going to start with the Rotten Tomatoes, which this one is kind of surprising, where it is rotten with the critics at 42%.
What?
Yeah, and then it's 40% with the audience. Wasn't that what? First Blood was? Or Rambo 3? Yeah, that was... that surprises me, to be completely honest with you.
Wow.
Because this movie is beloved, if I'm not mistaken,
I mean, I cannot see that one.
Okay, so Rambo 3 was 41 and 45. So actually the audience likes Rambo 3 more than Twins.
More than Twins?
Yeah. And the critics is just 1%, 42 for Twins and 41 for Rambo 3. That's surprising, to be completely honest.
That's very, very surprising.
Because like I say,
I would have never guessed that.
No, I thought this movie was this. Before we dived, I saw this movie in the theaters. It is one of my favorite Schwarzenegger comedy movies. Definitely, and it's funny. I guess before we dive into it, that in Schwarzenegger's the Netflix autobiography he had to hound Ivan Reitman to get in this movie. Where you would think, at this point, still Schwarzenegger just did action. That's all he did.
Yeah.
And so this is his first branch into comedy. And Ivan Reitman was like, "No, you're not right for the role." And he just had to hound him and just literally stalk him.
Wow.
To get him in. He took a pay cut and he took everything
Yeah.
to get into this movie. And
I heard that they all three took pay cuts and they all took money on the back end. One of the first kind of, I don't know, first deals, but this was, that's more common nowadays. And back then they took a huge pay cut, him, DeVito, and Ivan Reitman, and then they all took a percentage of the profit. And
which worked out.
He said he made more money off this movie than he made off of all the Terminator movies together.
Yeah, because this movie's budget was $18 million and its box office was $216 million. Which
it was a huge hit.
Yeah, and which surprises me. Like I say, it's looking at those Rotten Tomato scores that they're so low like that. But yeah, this movie made money.
Wow,
and 1988 money.
Yeah, then that's but. Like we said with the last one, that made money too, So these were both big hits. But yeah, definitely for a movie that was this popular, I can't believe it's not nearly as high on Rotten Tomatoes. But especially with the audience, I figured critics one thing, but the audience usually is pretty spot on. So that one confuses me. So, anyways. Yeah, it was as we said, it was a huge hit. They took money on the back end, all three of them, and there was supposed to be, as Tim mentioned, there was supposed to be a sequel called Triplets with Danny DeVito, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and one Eddie Murphy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which would have been amazingly funny.
Yeah,
I wish. I hear about these type of things, and you just in a different world, or you wish these things could have somehow come together. But it's such a bummer that it didn't. With, of course, Ivan Reitman directing it.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, it never came to fruition. It's always like one of those ones where a good one, like I said, they come up with something else, So, but apparently, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito had their choice of either doing this or Suburban Commando.
Really? Suburban Commando. Actually, I think they could have pulled off Suburban Commando, to be honest with you, but I'm glad they chose this.
Right. And they said that if they would have chosen Suburban Commando, what I'm reading, it would have this movie would have been Christopher Lloyd and Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
I don't think it would have worked.
No,
it wouldn't have worked.
No.
This was the casting is so important, and it just really And apparently, Clint Eastwood visited the set on the day they shot the scene where Arnold Schwarzenegger is singing on the plane, "Yakety yak, don't talk back," and Clint Eastwood said, "Hey, I really didn't realize you had." This much talent. Yeah. Which I think this movie proves.
Oh, absolutely.
I think everybody was a little bit shocked.
Absolutely. I think that's what drew me in, was because he was so out of character in this movie. I mean, because even going back to Red Heat, he had a lot of Terminator-esque the way he played the character.
Yes.
Where this one, it's like...
Well, let's remember, he just did Red Heat. And as we talked about in that, he was very wooden and stiff, but it was supposed to be that way. That's the way the character was written.
Yeah.
But that took away all of his great charisma.
Right. His charm was gone.
His charm, his charisma. Yeah. The Schwarzenegger was not Schwarzenegger. So he wasn't allowed to shine. Whereas this movie, he was. And it everybody was like, oh yeah, this is why we. So it definitely instantly revitalized anything that was sort of improved his career by showing his diversity as far as his talent.
And you can definitely tell he's having fun with his character.
Yeah.
And I think that comes across too.
And and he's not over the top.
No.
He's not. He just kind of plays it like a normal guy. I mean, he's a little goofy in the beginning, but he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So, but so anyways, let's get into it. So it starts off, they're having an experiment. It's we're down. It's like, black and white, wasn't it? Black and white, and we're supposed to be sometime in the 40s or something, and or 50s.
Or, probably 50s if it's in the 80s.
50s. Yeah, so sometime in the 50s, and they have this experiment where they have all these different fathers that are all different experts in their field. and one mother, and they kind of take all the guys' juice and they sort of mix it up and they
make the human cocktail.
And they have a woman volunteer, and she's going to be the mom.
Yep.
And the young mom is actually an uncredited Heather Graham.
Really?
And I saw that from the start. I was like, that's Heather Graham.
Interesting. But I missed that one.
It wasn't credited, but I looked it up, and it is Heather Graham. And,
yeah, because it was just still photos, wasn't it?
Well, no, she meets them, but it's very short.
That's right.
It's very short. Yeah. But so the beautiful Heather Graham. This is the classic fish out of water story. He's this smart, strong, sort of, athlete living on a tropical island, full of philosophy and
the point of the whole 7, they were trying to breed the perfect specimen.
Perfect specimen. Yeah. Correct. Yes. Yeah. And 2 are born.
Yeah, they expected 1 and they got 2.
Yes, and so
let's see if that plays a role.
Right. so like I said, we go to Schwarzenegger, and he finds out he has a brother. They tell him that he has a brother that he had never knew about, a twin brother that he had no idea he knew about, and he's living on a tropical island,
just in paradise,
and he's just got all this beautiful food and books and
well studied.
Well, yeah, he's just. Everything is good, and he's just this really smart guy, and he's like, well, I must meet my brother. I have to meet this man. I'm obsessed with meeting this other man who is my twin brother. That I never knew about.
Yeah, he must be just like me.
Yeah, so he jumps in a raft and starts hauling towards the United States because he's in some sort of soft tropical island, and he just hops in a rubber raft and starts rowing to shore, rowing to middle of the ocean. He's gone. I like that. That was funny. It just shows you the kind of the goofiness of the start off of the movie. So then we smash cut to Danny DeVito, Vincent. Mm-hmm. And I guess we should say Arnold Schwarzenegger's color is Jules. Jules and Vincent, which that would have been a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Right, yeah. Maybe that's where he got it from.
And I didn't think about that. That is funny. So anyways, here's Danny DeVito. He's getting it on with a gal in bed, and all of a sudden she goes, "That's my husband."
Right, yeah.
Classic, and he's got to do a little window hopping. Yep. So Danny DeVito jumps out a window, climbs down the gutter, and hops into his car and takes off. And we see him, and he's kind of sort of a ne'er-do-well.
Right. Yeah.
And he's out and he's doing things, and of course, when we meet his girlfriend, and we also meet the amazingly beautiful and will be missed R.I.P. Kelly Preston.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I forgot how good she looked in this movie.
Oh my gosh!
And I've seen this movie a handful of times, many times. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
Yeah.
But when this came out, and even probably into the mid 90s, this was one of my staples, and I hadn't watched it.
Right.
But holy shit, I forgot how good Kelly Preston looked.
And totally. That's the same thing. It just blew me away. I was like, wow, I forgot how just she's stunning she was. Just unbelievable.
No, I agree. Yeah. Good for you, John Travolta.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I was going to say, what's that movie? I don't know.
Well, she was in that movie Mischief.
That's what I was going to say, Mischief. Yep. I was going to say, anybody, please watch Mischief.
Full frontal. Good luck finding it, though, because that movie is not anywhere. But if you want to see Kelly Preston.
That was the first time I saw her when I was a kid.
Me too. Full frontal and everything. And I'm like, holy shit, who's this?
Anyway, so.
Yes, for all you perverts that want to see Kelly Preston naked, if you can find 1983's Mischief, I recommend it.
Yes. So here's Schwarzenegger. He's on a plane, and he's singing yakety yak, and he's goofy. He's kind of a goofy guy, and
his first exposure to
music, and he doesn't know what's going on. And the flight attendant, beautiful flight attendants, all the girls want him. All the girls are flirting with him, and so he, he's kind of wandering around L.A. and he's eating hot dogs and pizza and eating ice cream and all this stuff that he's never had before because he's lived on a tropical island eating fruit and fresh fish or something, you know.
Yeah,
so
you just think of the country mouse the first time.
It's the very much the, along with like Crocodile Dundee and all these other ones, pure fish out of water story. Guy doesn't like, what is all this fancy new stuff we got here, you know? Yeah. So, and then of course, which is the good reason we paired these movies up together, he looks over, he's eating something, and he looks over, and here's a poster on the wall.
Yep.
And what's it for?
Yep, Rambo 3.
Rambo 3.
Which,
so
I have to say, that coincidentally lined up, but it's perfect because I think, and what I mentioned earlier was like, was this their first time? I think, well, obviously this is the first time where they've acknowledged
it. One another, yes, this is the first time that they've acknowledged the rivalry. And so Schwarzenegger kind of looks at Rambo's arms, kind of squeezes his arms, and then kind of
does the old
nothing, which, you know.
It's classic because, again, as we mentioned, Stallone was shredded for Rambo 3.
Yes,
but Schwarzenegger still looked phenomenal.
Shredded for this.
Yeah, he's still.
They get him to pull his shirt off a couple times in this movie too, because you know it's Schwarzenegger.
Right.
You got to get him shirtless.
I just love the squeezing his bicep, and he just shakes off.
His head like that's nothing. You know, it's the classic. Yeah, when everybody saw that, everybody laughed and knew exactly that what was going on.
Yeah,
and so we see Danny DeVito, and he's going to he's driving along. And he goes to a parking lot, and the guy who's running the parking lot is one David Caruso.
Yeah. Whatever happened to David Caruso?
Well, Dave, the answer is So so he meets David Caruso, and David Caruso is a parking lot attendant who's giving Danny DeVito tips on cars to steal. And Danny DeVito is apparently a part-time car thief. So he steals this really nice BMW and takes off and goes off and sells this BMW to a chop shop and is like a petty car thief. Making side money. So He's very much a ne'er-do-well.
Yeah, always looking for the side hustle.
He's a side hustler. Yeah, he's hustling, stealing.
Shaking and moving.
And everything. So Schwarzenegger's sitting there, and he's the country mouse wearing shorts and a blazer and Converse. And so this guy starts talking to him, and he's setting him up to get stole. They get his stuff stole, which is actually how they kind of do it nowadays. So one guy's trying to distract him. Another guy pulls up on a motorcycle, tries to steal his suitcase. But Schwarzenegger's so strong, he throws the guy off it and breaks. And he's trying to help the guy that just stole his, trying to steal him.
Not understanding what's going on.
Yeah, he's not thinks the guy actually hurt himself when the guy just tried to steal his stuff. And so he's very naive. So he winds up going to he stays at some sort of church or something and there's a nun, or it was his orphanage. That's what he goes to his old orphanage. I'm sorry. He goes to his old orphanage, and the nun from the orphanage is from Seinfeld, and she is the old lady who he steals the marble. They steal the marble rye from.
Yeah.
If everybody can remember that gal it's my marble rye.
She's also Happy Gilmore's grandma.
Oh, Happy Gilmore's grandma. There you go. That's even better reference.
No, she is the shut up, you old bag.
Shut up, you old bag. And then of course she's on the town council when Jerry's with Frank or whatever. Yeah. So, anyways, or Del Boca Vista. Yeah.
Yeah, Del Boca.
Yeah. So, anyways, he finds he gets a hold. So she tells him the story and this and that, and he needs to find Vincent. Well, of course. Danny DeVito got into a fight with a cop earlier over a ticket, and now he's in jail. So he's in jail. So Schwarzenegger shows up at jail to see his brother for the first time, and he sits down with a classic. Everybody loves this scene in a jail for some reason. Is the talking through the plexiglass where you have to pick up a phone.
Yeah.
and I don't even know if those exists. I don't know.
I have no idea. Yeah.
And I would know that seems more of a prison thing than just a county jail thing,
so.
you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
He's just doing a couple nights in jail for yelling at a cop. That's a misdemeanor as far as I know.
Yeah.
I don't.
It is LA, so who knows?
I don't know, but yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, so Schwarzenegger's all excited and explaining to them that they're brothers and this and that, and Danny DeVito's not believing him, but he just says, "Yeah, if you can bail me out, well, sure, whatever, man. You crazy?" He thinks he's crazy. He thinks some crazy guy. So he gets him to bail him out, and they start walking off, and Danny DeVito's like, "Yeah, whatever."
Right.
And just kind of, thinking he's just a crazy guy and just trying to, and so he jumps in his car and just ditches him.
Just takes off.
Later, dude.
Yeah, sure, brothers.
Later, sure thing.
Which I also love too when Schwarzenegger's sitting there waiting for him to bring Danny DeVito in. The first guy before him is just this big jack guy.
That's
and he's like, Schwarzenegger's all excited,
Yeah.
and then he just walks by him, and then Danny DeVito sits down and then he kind of takes him a second to he's like, "Oh, we're twins." He's like, "Well, obviously, I felt like I'm looking into a mirror."
Yeah. There's definitely some good dialogue going back and forth between. That's why this movie's so good.
Yeah.
It's just there's a lot of good dialogue between him and the chemistry is great between DeVito and Schwarzenegger, and so he ditches him and takes off. Well, meanwhile, back at the parking garage, a couple of guys pull up. And David Caruso lets them in, tells them where to park, and notices the pretty fancy car they're in. Mm-hmm. And these guys apparently are some kind of secret agent, because they're wiping down the car and they're not really sure what's going on.
Yeah.
So
dark sunglasses and
leather gloves and wiping the car down for fingerprints. So something's going on, and they drop off the car. Well, now we're back at Danny DeVito's office, and apparently he's some kind of sports agent or something like that.
It's like sports agent, rotary,
slash car thief.
Yeah,
so
he's got this office front,
So he's
as they're repossessing all his
office furniture. Which was just a trope of the 80s, repossessing furniture. Like,
you ain't paid your bills, we're taking your furniture back.
Taking your furniture. You ain't paid your bills. These chairs don't come free.
Yeah.
So. I think most offices are
yeah. I'm not a businessman.
I guess not. What do I know?
Yeah.
So he gets, he's at his office and tells the secretary, "Go on home. We're going to close up for a little while." And next thing you know, all of a sudden, the mob guy shows up, and Danny DeVito owes him money, and throws him through a window or the door or something, and starts beating up Danny DeVito pretty good. And luckily, Schwarzenegger tracked him down because they're twins.
Right? Yeah, they have that twin instinct.
They have a twin instinct. He knows where he was at the whole time. He shows up, sees a guy beating up Danny DeVito, and just puts the clamp on him, and starts to beat him up, and explains to him that he said the first explains to him these rules of crisis situations, and the first rule of a crisis situation is you don't panic, or no, it's whatever, don't you acted too fast or whatever.
Yeah, something.
He's doing some philosophy, some art of war, kind of a art of war thing where they got all these rules, and you don't once you do this, you don't do that.
Right.
So
you're doing this all wrong.
Yeah, you're doing this all wrong. So he beats up the mob guy, and Danny DeVito says, "Hey, you mess with me, you mess with my family."
Right.
So now Danny DeVito kind of like, he doesn't really believe him, but he's like, "Well, this guy can't be too bad to have hanging around,
Yeah.
So
can always have a little muscle around.
Yeah. So he says, "Well, this guy's crazy, but let's, I'll have him hang out with me." So they, so then he gets the call from Caruso. That there's a nice Cadillac up on the top floor, and it's ready to go. Mm-hmm. So he cons Schwarzenegger into going and helping him steal this car by telling him it's going to be for charity, and plays off his good guy image that and since Schwarzenegger's so naive, he believes him that it's for charity, and we need to do this for a good thing.
I need you to drive my car back, and I'll take this car to the orphanage or whatever.
We're going to go take this to the auction and sell it to the orphan kids. So Schwarzenegger picks up the back end of a car when they break in. The alarm goes off. He picks up the back end of the car and explains to him that a 45-degree angle shuts off the mercury switch. So
it simulates that it's being towed.
It's being towed because he's learned all this from the manual that he just read right before that. And so that's how he learned how to drive was looking at the manual.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's reading the manuals. They're driving to the garage. Yeah, he's like, what are you doing? I'm learning how to drive.
Yeah, he literally. So Danny DeVito hops in the caddy and Schwarzenegger jumps in the 5.0 Mustang, that DeVito's car, which he starts to drive and he's doing the classic. I don't know how to drive. Go fast, go stop, stop. And I'm like, that's an automatic, dude. It's not a stick, because you would have killed it if it was a stick.
Yeah, you wouldn't have made it this far.
You wouldn't have made it this far. Dead. It's clearly an automatic, but So,
well, if Arnold's proven anything in his film past, is he can operate any sort of machinery that needs to be operated. So this was pretty quick to learn.
Yeah, so they take off in the cars and they're driving down the road and he just goes, "Hit it, man!" And he punches it and they take off and she's learning how to drive on the fly. And all of a sudden, there's a ringing. Car phone ringing, and hey kids, guess what we had in the 80s? We had car phones.
Yeah.
And
it was so rare too.
And those were very cutting edge.
Yeah.
To have a car phone. And we thought that's where phones were going to end. Right. I mean, we thought that was like...
That was the pinnacle there.
This is the pinnacle. This is the wave of the future. We have a car that has a phone attached to the car.
Yeah.
We don't have to stop and go to a payphone or something. This is it.
That was the sign of the I wouldn't say ultra wealthy, but definitely the rich. The better offers had the
yuppies and well-off people had car phones.
Yeah.
And they weren't untouchable for normal people, but definitely the higher.
You didn't see them ever. And we should also mention too, these phones were attached to the car. You couldn't take them. Not what
they weren't like
now.
The Gordon Gekko giant brick cell phone.
Right.
This was had a cord.
Attached
to your car.
Yeah, it was
hardwired to your car. It didn't. Yeah, you didn't just get to take it with you.
Yeah, that was a nice breath of nostalgia.
Yes,
seeing
to see the car phones. Yeah. And hey, no hands-free driving back then.
No, they didn't believe in that
shit. And so they go to a grocery store. He's like, "Hey, meet me at the grocery store. We got to get some food because it's running out of daylight, and we're just gonna take everything back to my house and we'll hang out."
Yeah.
And they get to the grocery store, and here's his girlfriend and Kelly Preston. They're sisters, by the way, and they're shopping. And of course, what are they doing? They're smoking while they're walking down the aisle of the grocery store. They're blowing a heater right there. Then they're sharing it. Yeah. And I was like, man, I miss I miss the 80s so much when you could smoke and shop at the same time. Like
there was no
that was nostalgia for sure. I was like, oh my gosh, they're smoking on walking down the hallway.
It's so funny to think too.
And that was so normal back then.
Oh yeah, I remember it. But you forget that it was so
acceptable.
That it doesn't matter where you were. Right. That you would just
in a grocery store. Yeah, just walking down, pushing the cart.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they of course they bump into each other at the store, and Schwarzenegger meets Kelly Preston because he's looking at a Playboy and drops it. And which Playboy? That's a funny thing too. A magazine. That's another one. And so they meet. Everybody meets, and he realizes that that's his girlfriend, Danny DeVito's girlfriend, and his sister, and everything. And so they get a bunch of groceries and head back to Danny DeVito's house. And he explains to Schwarzenegger that the best way to do eggplant parmigiana is to put more cheese on it and then nuke it. Mm-hmm. And which was such an 80s thing too, because microwaves, at that point, everybody had microwaves. They were kind of rare in the 70s.
Yeah.
But by the 80s, man.
Oh, they were the next wave of technology.
Everybody had a microwave. Yeah. Everybody. It's like a cell phone nowadays. Yeah. There wasn't a house without a microwave by that point.
And they pushed so hard on cooking with microwaves too. Like, you want a quick, fast meal? Microwave it.
Microwave it, yeah. And they'd become more efficient and everything. And so everybody was just nuke it. That was such a common phrase. Just nuke it. Yeah. And that's what you would do is you'd nuke it, which meant putting it in the microwave. Of course, they're twins, so they eat the same way. They smell the food, they spin the plate. They all do everything the exact same because
they move their
twins.
drink from the left to the right at the same time. Yeah, that's just
so it's funny. So anyway, so they're eating their dinner and they're relaxing and they're hanging out at Danny DeVito's house. Well, smash cut back to the garage, the parking garage. Well, the guy who was supposed to pick up the car that Danny DeVito just stole, he shows up. Mm-hmm. Marshall Bell is his real name. I don't know what the character. Oh, it's his character's name is Webster. So
that's right.
Webster.
Yeah.
So and of course Marshall Bell, everybody would know him. He was with Schwarzenegger in Total Recall. Mm-hmm. He's also he was the dad in Stand By Me. He was.
I will remember him from Airheads, where he was
Airheads,
the cop.
The cop in
talking
Airheads, yes.
Michael Richards through the maze and going on about his whore wife and stuff.
Everybody knows who he is. He's been in a million.
Yeah.
He's been in a million movies. So.
Yeah, he's definitely a good character actor.
Great character
Darren
actor.
said, you've seen him, but the name may not
register. But like I said, so he's Quattro in Total Recall. He's got the alien in his chest.
Oh, that's right.
So, he realizes, hey, the car's not there. What's going on? So. Back at the dinner, Danny DeVito's telling Arnold Schwarzenegger, my mom, if she was my mom, she abandoned me. I don't like her.
Yeah.
She's dead anyway, so I don't care.
Yeah,
I got the thing from the orphanage and says she's dead. Mm-hmm. So, he goes to the Schwarzenegger goes and meets his dad. Finds out the dad is, mm-hmm. and
he finds the scientist behind.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He finds the scientist.
Yeah, that points him and lets him know. Oh, yeah, your mom is still alive.
Tells him his mom's still alive, and
oh no, I'm sorry. You are right. He does meet the dad, and the dad sends him to the scientist.
Right,
and the son. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. No, you are correct.
So somehow he runs across his dad,
which is they're having like a family dinner or something.
Right. Yeah. And he just shows up at his house, and the guy's like buku rich too. He's like got a really nice house in like Bel Air or something.
Little kid there. What's wrong, Grandpa? Yeah, I'll be right with you.
This picture looks like you, Grandpa.
Yeah.
And so
that's right. No, that's right.
But the guy does look like Schwarzenegger's dad if he was to have his dad.
Yeah.
So, so now they're, he tells him that the mom is still alive. But the mob who showed up earlier at his office to collect the money, they still say, hey, you owe us money, mm-hmm. and you beat the crap out of my guy here. So then they blow up his car mm-hmm. right in front of his house, and boom, blows it up. So next thing you know, Webster, who was supposed to pick up the car, goes to the two guys, the original two sort of spies that were supposed to drop off the car, and goes, hey, where's the car? It's not here. Those guys are like, hey, we dropped off the car. We don't know what happened. The instructions are on a cassette mm-hmm. tape in the thing. Mm-hmm. Like, we don't know what's going on. He's like, well, hey, but, okay, that makes sense. He goes, but, you guys seen my face, so now I have to kill you.
Right, we have a problem. And what's that? You've seen my face. Which, if anyone has watched any movie in their life, would think if any hitman says that to you, you know you're going to die.
So, you've seen my face, and kills them both in their office mm-hmm. in the middle of broad daylight, in the middle of the day, and high rise
open,
in L.A.
Yeah, just out in the open, everyone can see.
No problem. So, so they see his face. So, So he meets the dad. I'm sorry, you're right. So he's
so he finds the scientist.
Right.
After his dad points him.
Right. So while he's meeting his dad, while he's talking to his dad, Danny DeVito's driving around a stolen car, the stolen Cadillac.
Oh, that's
he
right.
hasn't even taken it to the shop yet.
Yeah.
For some reason, the other one ripped it straight there 5 minutes.
Right.
This one, he's decided, I'm going to cruise this thing a minute.
He's savoring the possession of this car. Yeah.
Well, I think it's because his car's blowed up too.
Yeah.
So maybe that's it. So maybe that's why they blew up his car. I didn't think about that. So anyways, he's driving around the stolen car and finds the tape, listens to the tape, gets the instructions. Then the dad explains to him that the mom was told you guys were dead. Mm-hmm. She thinks you guys are dead because the scientist, what scientist? This scientist, right? This guy right here told him that they were dead. Yeah. He goes, okay. So meanwhile, so Danny DeVito, because he's a con man and he decides he's going to look into this and see what this number is and call this guy and get this. He wants to be the
information,
middleman.
right? Yeah.
So he calls him and tries to start making a deal. And he talks to Trey Wilson. That's the guy's real name. I can't remember the character's name is Buckeye something or other, but he's the rich businessman.
Right. But stereotypical.
Trey Wilson, of course, for everybody, he was the dad in Raising Arizona. He was Unfinished Arizona.
Yeah, that's right.
My boy is out there somewhere.
Mr. Arizona.
And he was also the coach in Bull Durham. Everybody knows him, has seen him in a million things as well. Mm-hmm. Lots of good character actors in this movie. So...
it looks like he passed away shortly after this movie was released.
Oh, geez. Yeah. No wonder he didn't do anything else.
Yeah, 1989.
Oh, wow.
Well, R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P., man. He was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Raising Arizona was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So he tells them that, he's thinking they're talking tens of thousands of dollars that for some sort of, because he thinks he's just wanting the Cadillac. So he's like, doesn't understand there's something in the back. And then the guy tells him, no, $5 million. I want $5 million. I'm going to give you $5 million for whatever's in the car. And so Danny DeVito's like, oh my gosh, $5 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's thinking, like Darren said, he's thinking like 50,000. He's like, I won't do it any more than 75. He's like, 75? Are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
He's like, 3 is all I'm going. He's like, well, $3 million.
Yeah. So he goes to, so then he tells him, hey, you gotta, bring it over to Houston and we'll do the exchange here in Houston, and they're in LA. So he's gotta head to Houston. Well, Arnold Schwarzenegger, he wants to go to New Mexico because that's where the scientist is that his dad told him about, that did the experiment and everything. And he says, hey, it's on the way.
Right.
And Danny DeVito's like, no. And he says, no, let's go. He's like, okay. And he pretends and goes, go take a shower.
Right.
And he's going to ditch him again. And right when he tries to ditch him, the girls show up.
Right. Happy birthday,
and they have a cake and all this stuff. So and Kelly Preston made cookies for Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, which we may say she's a little sweet for Arnie.
Yeah, she's got a crush on him. And so she walks into his bedroom as he's taking a shower.
Right. This part kind of made me like roll my eyes a little bit, but
and she he goes, well, I better get dressed, and she goes, oh, well, I'll just turn around.
Right. Yeah. No, don't mind me.
Yeah. Let me walk out of the bedroom and close the door.
Yeah. Come on in.
I'll turn my back to you, but. Lo and behold, there's a mirror right here on the dresser, and I'm going to adjust this mirror a little bit. And whoa, I got a peek at the old Mr. Winky. Totally missed that. And her eyes get all big, like, wow, look at that thing,
I'm not going to say the little Schwarzenegger because I would be doing it misjudge it, but she got an eye full of something, which is funny because if roles were reversed,
oh my gosh, that would be it's you perv, get out of here, yeah. No, but she got to look at big old Mr. Knish,
right?
And and so
now she knows it's true love.
She likes what she sees. So now Danny DeVito's girlfriend convinces them that they're all going to Houston together.
Big old road trip.
We're going together. Okay, fine. But now and so
doesn't the hitman go to the parking garage?
Right. So the hitman heads to finds David Caruso, he's got him tied up, and he's asking who are you working with, this and that, and Webster's got him all tied up, and just classic, you saw my face, and shoots him at the end.
Who took this car again? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to tell you, but you saw my face.
Yeah. So he gets Danny's name from David Caruso, and so then he heads over to Danny DeVito's house, Vincent's house. And he's kind of rummaging through the thing, and he finds the number for the guy in Houston, the guy he was supposed to originally talk to, the guy who he was supposed to talk to. And so he kind of puts two and two together, and but while he's there, the mob shows up, and they think he's, they don't realize he's a hitman or something trying to get money. So they try to shake him down, and he winds up shooting them both in the leg, and walks out.
So painful.
Yeah, because a couple guys shoots them both in the leg, and the third guy just lets him hang, and he walks out. Yeah. So now so they're all four of them are on a road trip together, and they start bonding on the road trip. They're hanging out, they're having fun.
Yeah. They're living it up.
They're living it up, and so they make it to the Institute. They finally get to this New Mexico. They get to the Scientific Institute where they were born. And so they go, where is my, what's going on?
And, where's my mother?
And he's like, I don't know anything about that. And Schwarzenegger comes back in. No, this is him. This is where's going on? And,
or like he leaves him. He goes into his office, and Schwarzenegger kicks the door down.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm ready to talk.
Yeah, now I'm ready to talk. No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Boom. Okay. Well, actually,
here's the thing: you're gonna have to go Route 54.
He's like, well, okay, I'll tell you the whole story.
Which time you got?
It's a top secret experiment, but you kicked in my door, so I'll go ahead and I'll explain everything.
I just shit my pants, so here's everything you need to know.
And so he tells them their story, tells them, hey, Vincent, and Vincent goes, how'd you know my name? And he says, I named you.
Yeah.
So
I knew you were shit the day you were born.
You knew you were shit the day you're born. And they go into the basement, and where the experiment is still basically set up from
it still looks great 30 years later.
30, 40 years later, or whatever, 35 years later.
It's like housekeeping visits it every other day or something.
So, and luckily the guy still works the same place they did 35 years ago. I mean, and they just locked it up and left, walked away from it.
Experiment's done. We're going to.
Yeah. I'm still going to be this institute for the next 35 years.
Yeah. So, I have tenure, so there's no reason for me to leave.
I don't going to work at this place forever. So, so then he explains to him that that they were making a superhuman, and Danny goes, yeah, we had two superhumans, and he goes, no, he was the superhuman. You were all the crap that was left over, which then you do feel bad for Danny DeVito. You're like that.
To see it laid out like that.
Yeah, you physically feel bad for Danny DeVito in that scene.
Yeah, you were never meant to be born, but you were all the shit that wasn't
left over, and so you're like, oh man, that's no good.
Yeah.
So they Schwarzenegger tells them, hey, don't listen to him, blah blah blah. We're gonna go talk to our mom, and we can be a family. Yeah. And so Danny DeVito's kind of like, all right, well, it kind of pulls him out of his funk, and he's like, all right, yeah, we can be a family from here on out. Who cares what happened before, So they start hanging out. They get matching suits, and this is where the movie, gets the classic sort of, they start, dressing alike, and he teaches them how to dance and stuff like that. And they could become brothers.
Right, they're warming up to each other's, or at least Vincent's warming up to Jules'.
Yes, he's understanding. Well, because they explained to him that he was his brother, so now he's understand that this is his twin brother, and it's all true. And so now they're dressing alike. They're hanging out. Yeah. He teaches them how to dance. They go out to a club. They're having fun. Yeah. Kelly Preston kisses him. Mm-hmm. They go into the can. They're peeing the same. They wash their hands the same. They throw the thing away the same. It's just it's all the.
It's uncanny.
It's
really.
It's all the which is funny. And so when they're at the club, the mob shows back up. How they found him, I don't know, but the mob shows up, and they're gonna kick his ass. They got a gun to Kelly Preston's, and
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they're sitting at the table with the girls. And,
yes, and who was one of the henchmen? Oh, because he has the two original guys, and then he's got another guy.
That's right.
And he's got two other henchmen, and one of them is, of course, Stallone or Schwarzenegger's buddy.
Oh, is it?
It's what's his name? Hans or the?
Oh, okay, yeah. The LaFours from Mallrats.
Yes, LaFours from Mallrats.
He was in. Yeah, okay.
Which he's been in. Once again, we've talked about him in every single.
Yep.
He was the bodyguard in Running Man.
And he was in the first scene of Red Heat.
And yeah, he's been in every movie with Schwarzenegger. So
that's right.
I love that that he's so loyal to his friends.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Even if you get some just little tiny bit parts, it's cool. I love to see that.
Which actually, if I can intervene here for one moment, while we forgot something where he's talking to the scientist, and the scientist is telling him about his mom, and giving the boys the address, and Schwarzenegger is like, "Well, she better be there, or if not, I'll be back."
Oh, that's right.
So this is our third. I'll be back.
Oh man,
I think it's our third.
Thank you for catching that.
I had to because when I heard that, I'm like, "Holy shit, this
is our fourth."
Is it the fourth? Okay, because Terminator, Commando,
Running Man.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, you're correct. And so, yeah, this is number 4.
Yeah.
You better be correct or I'll be back.
I'll be back.
So,
heck yeah.
Which, at the time,
it was awesome.
Went over I never realized it, but now that we're critiquing these, it's like, we should almost keep a running tally of the I'll be backs. But,
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, so I wanted to get that in there before we got too far away from it. So.
It is. Yep. So, there's our 4th I'll be back. So, anyway, so yeah, he mob's there, and they're gonna get the girls and stuff, and he just starts kicking ass and just beats the shit out of all of them, and saves the day basically, and they're all knocked out, laying on the floor, and so now they head back to the hotel, and all of a sudden the door, little rap tap on the door, and there is Kelly Preston standing there.
Yep.
Evening gown, nightgown, whatever.
Just like
it says, their hair, they want to be alone. So I just got to hang out here. I'm sorry, I got no place to go.
I'll sleep on the couch.
Yeah, I'll sleep on the couch. And lo and behold, waka chicka wow wow, frickin' Stallone, Schwarzenegger, Vincent, Jules. And Kelly, do the hooky up, and he gets laid for the first time, which is kind of a funny scene because she's sitting there smoking a cigarette, and they look over to him, and he's just got this really dumb, goofy look on his face, like he didn't know just what happened, which would have what happened if you're a 35-year-old who never had sex before,
being seduced by Kelly Preston.
By Kelly Preston, good night, Irene. So they head off to go meet their mom. They're really excited to go meet the mom. They head to the thing that she's at, and it turns out it's a big kind of a art. Like a I wouldn't say hippie compound, but it's a Renaissance artists. It's some kind of institute. But it's like a artist institute,
like a privately funded.
Somehow, she owns this thing, and he realized, oh man, she's rich. They're like, oh my gosh, she's rich, and she doesn't know we're alive. And so
they were calling it like her trust, or I'm sorry, her estate. This is her estate, and this is what they do.
Yeah, and so they won't let him in because it's some sort of private thing, and they won't let him in. Like you need to contact the institute or whatever, and they'll and they go no. So they go around back and they sneak in, and all of a sudden, this old lady starts yelling at them, "Hey, you guys are supposed to be in here!" And they're like, "Oh, yeah, we're looking for our mom," and stuff like that.
Lay the story down.
They
up
tell
to
her,
this point.
So they go, "Do you know such and such?" And she goes, "Yeah, I know her, and yeah, she's here somewhere." And they're like, "Oh," and they do the classic. The person you're talking to that you don't know is the person you're talking to, Right. I mean, how many times has that
it's like she's leading him to the exit, telling this big long story.
Yeah, and then she goes, "Follow me," and
she's passed away.
Yeah, and then tells him, "Oh, I'm sorry, she's dead." And so now Danny DeVito
Yeah, he's all discouraged and
yeah.
like, okay, well, I just want to deliver this, and
Yeah.
like leaves them there at the side of the road, throws all their shit out.
Right. Well, and she and the mom, she goes back and she thinks that these are just two guys that heard that she had twins or somehow, and they're trying to con her because she's a millionaire.
And she's under the impression too. No, my twins died. My kids are dead, so you can't.
35 years ago, these two kids died.
Yeah.
And I'm a multimillionaire, and she's a very famous artist. That was it. She makes paintings, and she's a famous artist. And so she's like, you can't, these guys are trying to con me for my money. Like, the lengths people will go to, you know? And of course, Danny DeVito now thinks because his mom's dead and all this sort of hope and all this stuff, it's out the window. So he just falls apart. He's like, forget it. He's kind of just like, says, forget it. I'm done with everything, done with everybody, and takes off and leaves all the three of them on the side of the road.
Just in the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere. And on a gas station, and just takes off. Well, Danny DeVito's girlfriend explains to him that, or to Schwarzenegger that the truth of what's actually going to happen. That they're not going to go sell this for charity. This isn't an auction. This is that he's involved in something, and he's trying to sell it to this guy, and yada yada yada. So meanwhile, Webster has met up with the guy from Raising Arizona that he was supposed to meet up with originally. So, and he's laid out the entire thing to him of what's going on. So they're both kind of. Webster's kind of waiting around for Danny DeVito to show up. So they have this sort of montage of Danny DeVito driving around, but he's kind of looking at guys that are, like, hey, these two brothers are walking down the street together, or, or something, or these two twins. And so he's kind of like, well, maybe maybe
overreacted a little bit.
Maybe I overreacted. Maybe I'm having second thoughts here. And,
we should also bring up where Webster's meeting with Mr. Arizona. He's there when Danny DeVito calls him. And
that's right. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll be here such and such day.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll be looking forward to meeting you type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. The classic, just everything's cool with the guy. And then the other guy is sitting right there listening to the entire thing. So he knows what's going to happen.
Lucky coincidence. He was there.
Just sits there all day at this guy's office.
He'll be calling any time now, I swear.
So he goes and they meet up and they do the deal with Arizona guy, and he gets the money, and first he thinks he's gonna rip him off, and then they're like, oh no, gives him the money and everything's cool. And then as he's cheering for the money, all of a sudden the guy gets shot on the Cadillac that he was driving and just slams into the wall. It's kind of a weird.
Yeah, it takes an interesting turn.
Yeah, it's kind of shoehorned a little bit in there. I don't know. And so he realizes that Webster's after him, and Webster's shooting him from on top of a building. He's kind of trying to shoot him. And Danny DeVito takes off with the money. He's running through a building. He's running here, running there, and they're chasing after him. And finally, Webster's got him, and Arnold but the whole time, Arnold is running around trying to get to Danny DeVito because of his twin power. He knows where he's at.
He knows exactly where he's at. How'd you find me? I tell you, with twins.
And he steals a car and does some other stuff and to get there in time. And boom, shows up in the nick of time, and they give him the money. And he still says, well, you saw my face. So, the classic, how many times has he said that? Everybody should know that by now.
Right.
So,
this can only end well, right?
Right. And so, but we should say at the last time the mob showed up, Schwarzenegger told him that the second rule of a crisis situation. So, and that's how he beat up those guys, explained it. Now, this time with Webster, he says the third rule of the crisis situation is, well, he's kind of making it up because there is no third rule. He's just giving Danny DeVito sort of a wink, wink.
Right. The eyes. And, follow my eyes.
Yeah, follow my eyes. And they kind of look up, and there's some sort of chain dangling right above Webster. So Danny DeVito kind of distracts him and hits a button, and the chain falls on Webster. And it all of a sudden this Wile E. Coyote style of like 400-pound chain.
That just turns into a mountain.
Turns into a mountain of chain. And just
keeps coming.
It just keeps coming like Pee Wee Herman's chain in his bike.
It's must have the same chain supplier or something.
And this comically large pile of chain is on top of him, which makes it a funny death instead of a because it's a comedy. So we got to have him die in a funny way.
Yeah, it can't just be a bullet to the head.
Yeah,
or something.
you can't have him rip off his throat.
MacGruber style.
MacGruber style.
I know you want that throat rip.
Go for the turkey. So yeah, he can't do that. So they got to do something funny. So he's up. So Webster's, we think he's dead. We don't know, but he's underneath 400 pounds of chain. So
yeah, I'd be pretty convinced that he's not getting up and walking away from that.
Yeah. So so he wants to give the money back, and they're arguing back and forth. No, I don't want to give. No, we must give the money back.
Yeah.
And no, I don't want to give the money back. And so next thing you know, they're in the newspaper, which is funny because newspapers. They're in the newspaper. They're getting a reward because there was a stolen engine. This whole thing was over a stolen, which they don't really tell till to the end. It's some sort of prototype engine, and maybe they just had cut that scene or something.
Some sort of new technology or something.
Yeah, and that was what was all over. So, but they got some money because of it, and so they
restart his business and then before then the mom sees the newspaper and just realizes, oh wait, maybe they were telling the truth.
Right. And so she's like, and Danny DeVito, he's trying to get his girlfriend back. So he goes and he gives her a bunch of flowers and she falls back in love with him. So they're back together and they make up and they go into business together. Danny DeVito and Schwarzenegger, they go into business together. And the mom shows up and they all become a family again. And he tells them, hey, $4 million. $4 million. Well, if we all remember, it was $5 million.
It was 5, yeah.
So were they kind of implying that he took
I don't know where that last million. I think I do. I mean, you would think too at the time.
Because he said it twice. He said $4 million. Just think of that, $4 million. And it was like, well, we all know that they said 5, and it was very clearly 5 million.
Yeah.
So,
and they are doing much better.
Yeah. So it's, so they kind of, so they got the desks turned towards each other. They're dressed alike still. They got the suspenders and everything, and so, but then the mom shows up and they're all, everything's all good. And then,
they're all a family.
They kind of smash cut to a few years and they're at some sort of carousel at the fair or something. And they got all these, and all of a sudden, here comes Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito walking down the road, and they've got they each have a set of twins. They've got their own set of twins. So 4 babies.
Yeah.
Yes, 2 for Schwartz, 2 for DeVito, and so they have four sets, and
gather for a family photo.
They're all married and family photo, and
they live happily ever after.
and smash cut to credits. Yeah. So, and that's Twins.
Yeah, that's Twins. I will say, like I said earlier, this was always one of my staples. I did enjoy it, just watching it. There are, like you said, a couple things they shoehorned in. The ending, I was just kind of like, whatever. I get it. It's 88 still, but it's really not that bad of a movie. I mean, it goes from the comedy with the road trip with a little bit of action and a little whodunit. This, and Danny DeVito is, like you said earlier, if they would have done Suburban Commando, the two of them, I think they could have pulled it off.
Right. Yeah.
But it's anyone else different than either one of them, I don't think it would have worked.
Yeah, their chemistry is just so good together, and it's just so funny how they worked so great together. They played off each other. It's the classic, whether it's like David Spade and Chris Farley or Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin or whatever. You got the classic one guy's this way and the other guy's that way, and they're just and they're playing off each other, and it's great. So I would have loved to have seen a sequel.
again, I know when they announced it, it was many, many years later.
Yeah.
For me, am kind of a, if it wasn't done in this set window, just don't do it type of guy.
Yes.
Very rarely can you capture that same magic.
No.
Up until this point, until we get there, I haven't seen Junior ever. So
Me neither.
Again, saying earlier, waiting for that first movie, I'd be like, ugh. I mean, I'd hate to speculate, but the idea of that movie, I don't know.
Right.
At the time, I was like, whatever. But like I say, when we'll get there, I'll discuss it further. But these two guys work good together, and like I say, Schwarzenegger just he nailed it. For me,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just he was great. He played it just perfect. He wasn't too over the top. He just played it like a classic kind of open-eyed, naive sort of fish out of water guy, and it worked for him. And Danny DeVito playing the sort of city slick, streetwise
the
sort
shyster,
of ne'er do well. Like it worked. He did that perfect, and it was they're two halves of the coin or whatever. But we love those type of movies.
Yeah, no, I agree. So I guess it's crunch time now. I'll go ahead and go first on this one. This one, when we do watch him, I don't have any set idea of who I'm going to choose, but I'm actually going to choose Arnold on this one because of his different. Like I say, that he was able to open up more. His as he proves going forward, he is a pretty good comedic actor, and you would never think, because I think he can use his size and his bulk and his facial expressions, and just like you said, the naivety, the naiveness of him, just But again, Stallone. What can you say about Rambo? I mean, at this point for Rambo 3, he had Rambo set. There really was no changing the character of Rambo.
Right.
But again, not that I liked Rambo 3. I enjoyed it, but I think for me, Arnold's just his portrayal of Jules. I got to give it to Arnold on this one. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on this one. It was just like I said, it's the chemistry between them two, the way he played the nothing to take away from Stallone and his playing Rambo, which I love Rambo, and it was a great movie, and Troutman and I get what they were trying to do, and it's a great action paint by numbers kind of a movie, but this just had Twins had just a lot more depth to it, and a lot more sort of nuance, and it's just and and we get it. One's a comedy and one's an action, so we get that we're not. Yeah. It's not two apples to apples because they're different genres,
right?
So
it's just the way they landed. It's
just if this would have been a different Rambo movie, we might be saying something different.
Yeah. Or even a different Stallone movie altogether.
Right. Yeah.
But
if you were to putting this up against Rocky 1, obviously we'd be having a different conversation right now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So, but no, for these two particular movies up against each other, this one versus this one, I'm going to have to go with Twins, just because, like I said, I remember seeing this in the theater. I remember seeing it on HBO. It was always, I always really liked this movie. It's always been, kind of just a good old, just a kind of a good wholesome 80s movie. I mean, it's just along the lines of Back to the Future or Goonies or something. It's just a great kind of a family movie that everybody can watch.
Just it's a nice, enjoyable flick. Yeah. It's got some comedy, like I say, some comedy. It's got some action. And I mean, Kelly Preston.
Yeah.
What more can you say?
Well, yeah. And not to mention Heather Graham.
That's true. Yeah. I'm going to have to watch it again just so I can pinpoint, because I've always been a fan of Heather Graham.
We all have, yes.
Yes. But, so. All right, so there you go. We're both leaning on the Schwarzenegger side. And so I guess we can safely say that we got to have a wrap on this episode. Our next one's going to be a good one, too. Well, we'll actually look at Total Recall and Lockup.
Oh, boy. That's
And
going to be a good one.
I've never seen Lock Up, so
I've seen it when it first came out, or after. I mean, HBO or Showtime or something like that. You know, but yeah, to watch it again with fresh eyes is going to be different.
And I haven't seen Total Recall in many, many years too. But I will say I've always loved Total Recall. I was disappointed they remade Total Recall.
Big time, and we'll get into that.
Yeah. I'm going to let you hang on that one. But so I welcome you to enjoy us. Welcome you to join us for that next episode. And anything you'd like to add in closing there, Darren?
No, I appreciate all of our listeners, and we ask that you subscribe, tell a friend. Watch us on YouTube if you want. We're gonna keep trying to create some content and leave a comment or a suggestion if you want to hear anything else.
Yeah, I can't add any more positive to that. And so, like I say, for Darren, I'd like to say thank you, and we'll see you on the next one.